In the world of college football, few names are as legendary as Paul Bear Bryant. Known for his unyielding determination, his iron will, and his unmatched ability to turn young men into champions, Bryant became a symbol of Alabama football. But behind the legendary victories, behind the image of the fatherly coach, there were whispers. Whispers that would shake the foundations of college football.
The Tide was down 15-0 at the half, but Pat Trammell went to work in the second half. This run to the Tech 5-yard line. Then Bryant's first great quarterback handed it to Leon Fuller for the touchdown.
The story of Coach Bryant's rise to glory is well known. But what about the scandal? What about the dark side of the man who built an empire on the gridiron? To understand the controversy, we have to go back to the early days of Bryant's coaching career at the University of Alabama.
Me, I said, boy, I want you to take my boy and build his character. Well, I want him to have character when he gets you. I've had people say to me that I never could handle him, but I know you can. But if he had 18 years and can't handle him, I don't want him. We want people that already have character. We want people that want to help themselves be better people and help themselves be better students and help themselves be better football players. And if they do that, I think we can help them. And if we can help them, then they'll turn out better citizens and be able to take their place in society and progress and mature and be good people.
It was the 1960s, an era when college football was a war and winning meant everything. Bryant's methods were simple: win at all costs. But were those costs too high?
Now here's why you can win on little things, and we'll be talking with you about little things as long as you're here. On little things and a little something extra. Now let's just suppose that we say that the maximum ability one can have is 100. That's the way we'll approach it. And let's say here I am, someone that really only has, based on that 100, a 75% or 75 ability. And here over here is someone that has 85 that I'm going to play against. Now, it takes everyone, but this is just for you as an individual. Now, on Saturday, by virtue of the fact that you have paid the price, you've learned those lessons, you work on the little things, you are willing to give a little extra. Although you only have 75% ability, you play a little over your head, and we expect you to. Okay, you play, and you'll be an 85 player that day. Now, here's another man over here that's playing against you. Now, this could happen, it don't always happen. That maybe he hasn't played the prize. Maybe he hasn't learned those lessons. Maybe he's not as dedicated as you are. And he doesn't play as well as he's supposed to play. And he falls off 10%, or he falls off 10. He only plays 75. And that's just to illustrate my point. Then you, because of your preparation and the things I'm trying to get across to you, you can beat him because you played 85. And if we do that as a team, 11 at a time, well, 4 years from now, why, we'll be walking out of here as a national champion. And I'll tell you this, I expect nothing less.
It all started with a game between Alabama and Georgia Tech in 1962. On the field, Alabama's infamous Crimson Tide took on Georgia Tech's Yellow Jackets. The game was brutal, a true battle of wills, but what happened off the field would be even more shocking. Bobby Dodd, the head coach of Georgia Tech, would become one of Bryant's most vocal critics. After the game, Dodd accused Bryant's players of using underhanded tactics, playing dirty in an effort to injure and intimidate. One of Dodd's players was severely injured during the game, a blow that seemed to break the unspoken rules of the game. Dodd didn't just call out Bryant's players, he accused him of teaching them to break the rules to win. The press in Atlanta quickly picked up the story, and soon it became a full-blown scandal. In the world of college football, this was more than just bad press. It was a challenge to Bryant's entire way of coaching.
What you did, we wouldn't last a week We never go back and say it was our fault, it was someone else's, and you always stand around and said, it's your fault when you lose.
Well, I'll tell you something about that, too. Somebody's going to say it. And if it is, it might well be me. and I'm sincere when I say it. And I'll say the other thing, is we won many games in spite of me. And maybe I've helped win a few or contributed to win a few, but I've never won a game. And the players win the game. I don't care about who the coach is, I think.
The accusations were loud and they cut deep. But for Bryant, this was just another battle to be fought. He denied everything. He was, after all, the coach of Alabama, the king of the SEC, but the damage was done. The whispers had started. But the whispers didn't stop there. Just a few years later, another scandal would rock the world of Alabama football. This time, it wasn't about dirty play. It was about something far darker, game fixing. In 1962, Alabama faced off against the University of Georgia. After the game, a bombshell would be dropped. The Saturday Evening Post accused Bryant and Georgia's head coach, Wally Butts, of conspiring to fix the game. The claim was that Butts had leaked inside information to Bryant, helping Alabama win.
Look at him throw it 52 yards to Richard Williamson for Bama's first score. In the second quarter, Namath once more, this time to Cotton Clark. Bama was up 15-0.
The allegations were as shocking as they were serious. If true, they could not only ruin Bryant's reputation, but also the integrity of college football itself. But for Bryant, the attack was personal. He had always prided himself on his honesty, and this accusation was the ultimate betrayal. But Wally Butts wasn't going to let the Saturday Evening Post get away with it. He filed a lawsuit seeking justice, and in a stunning victory, Butts won, securing $3 million in damages from the publisher. And there was more. Bryant, too, was vindicated. The allegations were proven false. In the end, both coaches were cleared of any wrongdoing. But the damage to Bryant's reputation was already done. The press had done its work. The man who was once hailed as the toughest, most feared coach in football now had a shadow hanging over him.
Bear, your teams have always been noted for toughness, especially on defense, in a conference that has a reputation for good defenses. How does this year's team shape up in comparison to the 1964 one?
Well, actually, the last couple of years we haven't been real good on defense, and this year, if we put all of our best players on defense, I think we'd be adequate. Right now, our plan are to put them on offense and maybe try to keep the ball. We may change our mind, but we'll be playing about 9 sophomores to be starting for us on defense, and that isn't a healthy situation in our conference.
The scandals, the accusations, and the constant media scrutiny took their toll on Coach Bryant. But something remarkable happened. Slowly, the man who had been seen as a fiery, win-at-all-costs coach began to change. According to the book Fumble by James Kirby, Bryant realized he needed to protect not only his own reputation, but also that of the University of Alabama.
It's not going to make me very popular with the people I work with, or the players, or anyone else, because I'm supposed to win. And I'm not thinking we're always beating us. But I want Alabama to go up. We have enough players there to win. We have enough players to have a great team next year. And I don't want to stay there or I want to move forward, go up. I want to be better. I don't want when I get out of coaching, come along, someone lose and say, well, and I said, well, look what old Bryant did.
And just like that, the legend of Paul Bear Bryant was reborn. He became more than just a coach. He became an icon, a symbol of strength, integrity, and leadership. The scandal of the 1960s was behind him. The media had moved on, and Bryant's career soared to even greater heights.
You start with the coach, but players win the football game. And many people, you take any player on a team, and just pick one out, and go back to his parents when he's little, his preacher, his Sunday school teacher, his high school faculty, his high school coach. So many people had an influence on his life and getting him to be there. And our players, I asked them sometimes, how long have you been playing football? And they said, well, 7, 8, 9 years. And I said, okay, tomorrow you have 1 hour. You've been practicing that long. You have an hour to put your act on. And what you gonna do? You're gonna do poorly, or you're gonna do the best you can?
In the end, Coach Bryant's legacy wasn't defined by the scandals that briefly marred his reputation. It was defined by the championships, the players, and the fans who loved him. The man who once faced the possibility of losing it all transformed into one of the most revered figures in sports history.